Hello, everyone. Welcome to this vodcast. My name is Ching Lana Luo. I am a licensed landscape architect and a professor of landscape architecture at OSU. I teach students how to design outdoor spaces. Speaking of outdoor spaces, it could be ranging from a small scale space, such as a backyard, to a very large scale green area. For example, this picture included on the front cover of this slideshow, that is the Central Park in New York City, which is over 800 acres. So the spaces that we teach students to design could range from very large spaces to smaller spaces. Today, I'm going to use the next 10 minutes or so to give you a very hands-on type of activity related to landscape design that you could utilize as a group leader or teacher or parents for a 4-H youth group. Now, I'm going to give you a very quick end results of this hands-on activity. As you see these drawings, these are designs from the youth members. They are all pinned up on the wall as a wall gallery or exhibition, if you will, and then students are introducing or presenting their design to their group. So that's the end results of this activity. The objective of this hands-on activity, number one, is to teach students, the 4-H youth, something about residential landscape elements. Number two, the kids can practice drawing skills, artistic skills from this activity. Number three, this activity can nurture student creativity and inventiveness. Number four, foster passion for outdoor spaces, green, natural spaces. Number five, optional, but it could totally happen if you have time and space. It could practice kids' public speaking skills. Now here's a close-up picture when I was teaching a design workshop. So students were designing on the paper and designing and drawing, and I was helping them, give them suggestions, etc. And then the picture on the right is something, any student that could generate in terms of this project. All right, let me talk about this project really quick so that you can understand it and then you can issue it to your kids. Here is the site. It's a plan. Plan view means a top view. And this drawing can be requested from me. I'm happy to send it to you if you send me an email requested. As a list of things, resources, I can send it to you afterwards. Anyway, so it's a residential site with a property line with a driveway and then building in the middle. And this building plan, architecture plan, shows the first floor of this house. Okay, as you can see that there's a garage, it's listed dining room, great room, another small dining area, and that's the kitchen, master bedroom, another bedroom 3, bedroom 2, etc. And this is the main entrance of the building. So that's how you read this plan. And if you request the plan from me, you're able to see north arrow and the scale listed on the drawing as well. So that's the site plan, the site condition, another word. If you, this is the zoom in, you see a little more details of everything that I just pointed out. And this is the front elevation. View, elevation drawing is a type of a side drawing, meaning that you can see an object from the side. So this is the view. You can see the front side of the building. That's the entrance, bedroom window, dining room window, and this is the garage door, etc. All right, this is just helpful for you and the youth group to understand the context of the design problem. Here's an example that I quickly drew up in one of my workshops. Basically, you see there is a pool that is listed in there. I did require the students in my workshop to include a pool, include patio, include large shade trees, include outdoor umbrella, etc., etc. And this is such a flexible exercise that there's no right or wrong answer. All it requires is for the students to be creative, just be open and run with it. All right. In order to do this exercise, to do this activity, here are the supplies. Either you will need the students to prepare for them, or you will acquire some if your group often have similar activities like this. You could acquire some for the group, and they can be used for years and years to come. Anyway, here are the material and supply list. So you will need to get this plan from me. Again, I will tell you how to at the end. And print out this plan. Each student will need one copy at least. I usually print out 2 copies per student, just in case they screw up the drawing, they need a new base plan. And it should be printed on 11x17 paper. And then I'm happy to share you some handouts. There are a lot of graphic symbols that you could give it to the students so that they know how to draw a tree, how to draw paving, how to draw a pool, how to draw water, etc. Every student preferably to have a set of color pencils. Okay, and the minimum would be 12 colors. And I'll introduce this a little bit. A circle template, a pencil of any sort, one HB pencil would be fine. A little eraser. Eraser can be the type that attached to the pencil, to the end of the pencil. You will need 2 Sharpie pens. One is a thin, the other is a thick. And then you need some blank paper just for practice purposes. Okay, here are some pictures about that. If you do acquire a color pencil set for the entire group, you can get something like this. So this is a color pencil set. This is a color pencil set with more for more students. Basically, you buy this box and then it has 12 colors in it, and this set can be enough for 20 students. And this is a larger set, enough for 33 students. Okay, they can be all acquired from Amazon.com. And pencil with erasers, circle templates, mainly drawing trees or some curves of the pool, swimming pool. This is optional. You don't have to have it, but if you do this type of exercise a lot, you should have one, acquire one placed in the classroom so that the kids can sharpen their pencil and color pencils really quick. This is a very efficient type of electric pencil sharpener. This is the manual one. They are very inexpensive, and you can buy 20 pack, 30 pack, and let the students use it. It's just slower, and also you need to have trash cans nearby so that they don't sharpen the pencil all over the floor. All right, here are the Sharpies. So these are the exact 2 types of Sharpies that you need. Sharpie pens are relatively inexpensive as well. And this one has a very thick, see, it's called fine, but it's actually a thick tip, okay? The other one's ultra fine. It's a very, very thin tip. With the thick pen and the thin pen, the students can draw a lot of different contents on their drawing. Now, here comes the instructions for you as the teacher or group leader for the 4-H youth. Print out drawing list from the right-hand side, and then the link can be requested from me. As a matter of fact, I can show you what the web page look like. It's a very long web page, so I didn't include it in the vodcast, but email me and mention about 4-H landscape design. I'm happy to send it all to you. And here's the drawing list at the bottom. So if you look at the base map, 11 by 17, and click on it, you're able to download and print. That's the 11 by 17 drawing base. Okay. And if you don't have 11 by 17 paper, you can print it on 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11, and then just tape them together with a clear tape. Okay. There are, in this drawing list, there are some really good resources. For example, this is a LA symbol sheet. Click on it. You're able to see how to draw paving, bricks, concrete, stones, and grass, draw a people figure, and how to draw trees from the plan view as a circle. Okay, a lot of good resources. And here's more resources. Okay. Draw trees in plan view in the top view, more trees, group trees or hedges, and how to hatch a paving pattern, how to draw a group of ground covers, etc. And here are some more drawing examples in color. So these are very useful when the students coloring their pavement, their planting, their grass area, their ground cover area, and little water feature, and a pool, etc., etc. Okay. Now let's go back to the PowerPoint. All right. So print out the drawings, especially the base map over here, and prepare the supplies, or ask the students to prepare their own. And go over some lecture PowerPoint that I'm going to give it to you right after this slide, okay, at the beginning of the class, so that you can have the students familiarize about the site design, okay? And in terms of how to draw, if you are not a person who draw a lot, that is okay. And also at the same link that you can request, there are some drawing videos that my department, my colleague prepares. So you could go over each video and learn how to draw, which is super convenient. Okay. And this activity is not just a 1-hour effort. I totally recommend you at least have a half day. Okay, 3 hours and above. And better yet, it could be divided in multiple times, 2 times or even 3 times. So every time finish a certain content that you prescribed for the students. And then after 2 or 3 times, everybody's done with their design work. And after they're done, you could have the students pin up on the wall of your classroom and then ask them to do a presentation. Great way to practice their public speaking skills. The way you divide the project scope, you could have them design all the backyard today and then finish the front yard tomorrow. That's how you divide it into several times. And here's, again, the examples that you can ask them to put up on the wall. And they usually students are very, very creative. Okay. And they're going to tell you why they designed that way and what is this and vegetable garden, patio, pools, and pond, water feature, et cetera, et cetera. It's really, really interesting ideas, actually. So have them pin up and then have them present to the entire class. And you can even have a little award program, give them some, notebooks or pens, etc., as an incentive for them to do. Okay. Here's the PowerPoint supplies that I supply to you so that you can teach the kids how to be familiarized about the site. Give them some information about residential landscape design. Okay, number one, so this slide, you can tell them what elements usually go to a front yard. Simple, right? So here, if this is a house, there are some gardens right at the front of the window, near the door, at the perimeter of the front yard. And then there's big tree, and then there's driveway, entry, walkway, and there's some lawn area possibly. Okay. And then you can give them a couple alternatives like this. And you say this one has a little turnaround in front of the house and more front yard alternatives. Just open up the student's mind by letting them see all of this, and then give them a quick introduction what goes into a typical backyard. For example, there's a fence, which is usually on the property line, and there's a swimming pool, there's a pool patio, there are perimeter gardens, there's a central lawn area, there's a deck that is right outside the patio door, and little outdoor kitchen over there, and some variations of backyard design. This one doesn't have lawn, entirely substituted by gravel paving, so that saves the water. Quiet sitting area, a lot of perimeter garden. Here's a deck that goes down to another level of hard paving where people can have a few lounge chairs. More variations of backyard. Sometimes it's a symmetrical design as this, and sometimes it's extremely green, most green, very few pavement. And sometimes there are some very interesting spaces for the homeowners to use. Okay, just some very good inspirations to show the students. More variations if the family has a lot of young kids and they might love play structures. Now, the next couple of slides are very helpful. Kids might ask and say, what kind of shapes my pool should be? Okay, here is a very, very basic lecture that you can give it to them. So several shapes that are often seen in the real world. So just a rectangular shape, L shape, and this is a variation of the L shape. We call it lazy L shape. It's not 90 degrees at the intersection, but that is perfectly okay. Kidney shape, figure 8 shape, and the freedom shape, organic shape. And practically speaking, for a pool shape, there could be so many different types of shapes. As long as it could be built, that shape could be it. I've seen a swimming pool shape that is a piano shape. Okay. Okay, so these are the shapes of the swimming pools that you can give it to the students. Here's something that a program lists and also functions, if you will. The general public will call it functions. And you could ask them to include everything, or you could say, for the front yard, I require you to include at least 3 things. And for the backyard, I require you at least to have 5 things in your design. Or you can ask them 6 things or all of them. etc., or let them choose for a few things on top of your requirement. So things like that. So that's the program list that you could or don't have to require when the kids do their design. Okay. At the end, I do want to stress that if you do have some 4-H students who are really creative, who love outdoor designs, etc., please encourage them to finish this project. And there are many avenues for youth to participate in horticulture, landscape architecture activities through a local 4-H program. And any 4-H member can prepare an exhibit for their county fair, and then the first place entries are eligible for their state fair. So every year when I go to OKC or Tulsa State Fair, I see there are 4-H students have a complete design for this site that makes me so happy to see their creativity. Who knows, they might be future landscape architect who design the next Central Park in New York City or somewhere else. All right, so if you have questions, please feel free to, this is my email address, and for that link with all that great resources, please send me an email and just put a title on and say request for 4-H residential design resource files, things like that, and I will be more than happy to send you that very long link that you can utilize. Or if you have other questions, feel free to contact me. Thank you very much for being here. You continue to have a great day.